We are just a couple days out from the 2022 NFL Draft, and rumors are rampant, as well as some news regarding our Detroit Lions. In this video, we're going to be talking about Kayvon Thibodeaux. The Lions are smitten with him. I talked about it before. Aidan Hutchinson, could he legitimately fall to the Detroit Lions at 2? Oof. We're going to talk about what Peter King said about it, as well as Kadarius Toney thrown on the trade market. Lions, should they take a flyer? I read articles suggesting they should. I'm going to give you my input on that and everything else. But before we get into today's video, if you think it's a real smart idea to take your hand, and while a engine is starting up for an airplane, you decide to put your hand into the propeller, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because we took all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. Sometimes being a Lions fan, you can just lose limbs. Also, make sure you take that like button with you, throw that bad boy in the propeller, and let that thing get sorts of cut up. Let's get into today's Lions news and rumors. It's always good to hear from what our players are thinking and saying. And DeAndre Swift, one of our main players offensively, a guy who we need to step up, talked in a press conference. He says, I understand what I need to work on. I understand what I need to get better, work on those, and get better for this up-and-coming season. And we hope so, because we need our run game to explode. We need DeAndre Swift to take it to that next level. If he does, it spells good news for the Detroit Lions. We got an offensive line that can help him out, open up the holes. We just need him to hit those holes, hit those strides, and continue to get better. We need to have an effective run game, and he is the guy that needs to be the focal point with this run game to be effective for the Lions offense to take that next step. So I'm happy he spoke about it. I always enjoy when I hear players talk about what they need to get better at. Criticism is a good thing sometimes. Critical and just being precise and understanding your faults is always a good thing, and you work on it. So I have no problem there. Let me know in the comment section below. Should the Detroit Lions trade for wide receiver Kadarius Toney of the New York Giants? That is the next subject of this slide in this video. So we're going to get into it right now. Why for yes and for no should the Lions trade for Kadarius Toney? If you don't know who Kadarius Toney is, he's a wide receiver who the New York Giants drafted last year in the 2021 NFL Draft, pick 20. He's a speedster. He's talented, no doubt about it, and he was really supposed to help out the Giants offense. And they got Kenny Galladay, they got Saquon Barkley, hoping that their offense could take the next level, but that did not occur. Kadarius Toney has some injuries, and a lot of bad stuff taking place with him. So he's been thrown on the trade market. I already read articles. The Detroit Lions should take a look at him. I'm going to tell you why you should not, and the Detroit Lions should not take a look at Kadarius Toney. First off, the injuries, that's the least of the problems. Kadarius Toney was a headache in the locker room. He was missing meetings. He was having issues with coaching staff. He was not showing up to some of the camps. This was taken right now. He was a bad cancer for the Giants. And if you're looking at the Detroit Lions right now, do you think that Kadarius Toney would be a fit for the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell? No way. You can't have a guy that's already having issues like this early in his career join the Detroit Lions. This guy was drafted in the first round last year, and the Giants are trying to get rid of him. That's bad. That's really bad. That means this dude has got some issues. And the last thing we need is another Titus Young on this football team, hurting the chemistry, hurting what we're trying to do for the Detroit Lions, building a better locker room, building a better type of way in Detroit. We've not had something good in some time. So pass on him. No to those articles. Let me know what you guys think, though, about that. Amon-Ra St. Brown went on a podcast, Terrell Owens' podcast, and he had a lot to say, and I was really pleased with what he was saying. First off, he was definitely feeling some type of way. We already know that, taken in the fourth round. But he was talking about we need to get a wide receiver, a big wide receiver for the Detroit Lions to help him out. He's talking about a big body guy who can stretch the field, contested catches. I 100% agree with him. And in this draft, there is a lot of wide receivers the Detroit Lions could look at to help this offense out, to help Amon-Ra out. You know what Amon-Ra is thinking? If I can get a guy who can stretch the field, who's a big body, I'm going to get better opportunities to get open, better opportunities to get the football and to make bigger plays. That is out freaking standing. So there's wide receivers out there that the Detroit Lions could look at in this year's draft who I think will be available. First off, you can have a Christian Watson, North Dakota State, big guy, 6'4". He has a lot of potential, and I think he would be available at 32 and or 34. That would be a guy who I think the Lions could look at. George Pickens for sure, potentially could be there at 32 and 34. A really outstanding wide receiver for sure. Treylon Burks, he may be available at 32. It's going to be difficult. Again, there's teams out there that need wide receivers, but if he is available, the Detroit Lions should pounce on the opportunity to get him in this up-and-coming draft. And I think getting the bodies like that, and I know a lot of people want to have nothing but defense in this draft, but imagine finally getting this offense to go on all cylinders and just roaming. We can keep this offense on the field, get touchdowns, something we're having issues with, and winning football games. We need to have offense. It is important to get that wide receiver to help them out. In the upcoming slide, we're going to be talking about Aidan Hutchinson. So let me know in the comment section right now, do you think that Aidan Hutchinson will be available at pick 2? Y for yes and N for no. It's all about Jacksonville Jaguars, and we're going to get into it here in a second. But Peter King reported, and it's something that I talked about a week and a half ago, that the Detroit Lions are smitten over Kayvon Thibodeaux. They like Kayvon Thibodeaux. We've been hearing about this Trayvon Walker talk for some time. I've been telling you, I really think they like Kayvon Thibodeaux. They were scouting him out last year when the Lions were playing the Rams. Brad Holmes went over there to watch Kayvon Thibodeaux. We've seen that Kayvon Thibodeaux has been mentioned as nearly the first pick in the draft for almost, 2 years. But obviously things have changed a little bit. Lions send scouts to Oregon's Pro Day. They like Kayvon Thibodeaux. There was issues. Is he a Dan Campbell type of guy? You know, that is a question, but I think ultimately they did their research, and if Aidan Hutchinson goes 1, I do believe the Detroit Lions will select Kayvon Thibodeaux, and I think that would be the right move over Trayvon Walker. I like Kayvon Thibodeaux's play on the field, his production more than Trayvon Walker. So if there's no Aidan Hutchinson, I would suggest Detroit Lions take Kayvon Thibodeaux over Hutchinson. But Peter King also talked about Aidan Hutchinson. It's not just Peter King, too. I heard it from multiple sources, multiple people, that it looks like the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to shock people and take Trayvon Walker at 1. And if you look at what the Jacksonville Jaguars do, their GM tends to go with players more physical traits, and they could definitely take Trayvon Walker at 1. I still have my doubts about this, but I'm really starting to believe that it's possible. No doubt about it that the Jacksonville Jaguars could go with the potential over Aidan Hutchinson. Now, if that occurs, Aidan's sitting at 2. Even though the Detroit Lions are smitten over Kayvon Thibodeaux, they like Kayvon Thibodeaux, you would assume that the Detroit Lions would take Aidan Hutchinson with that number 2 pick, because he's most definitely a Dan Campbell type of player. He never lets off his motor. He is always a guy never giving up. He showed the production in college. He is a hometown guy, and it makes all sense in the world if Aidan falls to 2 for the Detroit Lions to select Aidan Hutchinson. I just did a poll on my channel. Predominantly, the fan base would like to get Aidan Hutchinson with that pick. I would prefer Aidan Hutchinson over Kayvon Thibodeaux. Yes, I'm an Oregon Duck guy. I love my Oregon Ducks. But I also like production the most. And he produced this year at a high level going against high competition. And you don't have to worry. This guy's not going to be a bust. Why? He doesn't have that mindset at all to be a bust. And in a draft like this where there's so many prospects that you could take because of the level of grade is all similar, I would take the guy who I know is not going to be a bust, at least from the mindset. He's going to give you everything, and that's what I would prefer. So I definitely would take Aidan Hutchinson over Kayvon Thibodeaux. We all just got to see what Jacksonville does here. You know, I got a mock draft coming out. I'm going to give you my prediction there, but it definitely could be wrong. This is the hardest draft to come by because we just don't know what's going to happen, you know, with Jacksonville, and it's a crapshoot. Let's be honest here. But what is not a crapshoot is making money. Going to chatsports.com/linesbet. That is BetUS. Bet on this draft. Who's going to be the number one pick? Bet on. Do you think that Aidan Hutchinson will be the pick? Do you think Trayvon Walker will be the pick? If you bet, you're going to make some money. You don't have to do a whole lot. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money, $5. But right now, that'd be the way to go. Put in that promo code, LINES125. In the upcoming videos, we don't have the One Pride podcast on Thursday. Why? Because I'm with Lions Nation Unite doing the draft. So make sure you go over there, subscribe to their channel, and Gridiron Blitz as well. Subscribe to his channel. Also, hit my social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, LNU, to get the latest news and rumors regarding our Detroit Lions.